What were Randy Newman's other big, like, child movie songs other than You Got a Friend in Me?
I don't know. Does he have any in
Funny.
Nemo? No, he's not on Nemo, right?
I don't think so. Is he only in the Toy Story movies? I don't know. I've only seen the Toy Story movies, and I've only seen the first two.
The Toy Story movies are the only movies I've seen.
Wait, I've seen The Incredibles, and I've seen Finding Nemo.
Yeah, he doesn't have songs in those.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Because he wasn't successful.
Yeah, nobody knows who he is. Randy
Nobody's heard
Newman,
about him.
he did that song about rednecks or whatever.
Boy, did he.
Yeah. Could I have one?
He really did that song about rednecks.
Yeah, if you say the N-word in a song, you double did it. Like, Hurricane, he was really, Bob Dylan was really going for it.
I mean,
it's a racist song.
He said the N-word so hard that it got a black guy out of prison.
Which it's like, you know, did you really say it? If you say the N-word in the woods and then a black person gets out of prison, did you say it?
You know, it's just a good example. It's like...
of white supremacy?
Don't ask for the past. Ask for forgiveness later.
It's a good example of white supremacy that a white guy says the N-word and people are so impressed they release a black guy from prison.
It's actually crazy. It's actually insane. That they were just like, yeah, we'll just throw away this guy's whole life. And then one white guy wrote a song and they were like, wait, did we make a mistake?
Because that guy said the N-word, like, really good. Like, it sounded really good, I guess.
There's a white man saying the N-word, I'll listen up.
Oh, wait a minute, it's bad? Thank God he said the N-word, so I pay attention.
Well, once it called him the N-word, I sort of started to understand his side of things. I said, now you're speaking my language. I guess we did think of him as a crazy beep.
I am Warden Chicken from Looney Tunes.
There's a lot of anti-Bob Dylan rhetoric on Instagram right now.
People want to talk to Bob Dylan just because he's more talented than anybody alive.
Well, people also talk shit on him because they go like, oh, he was doing a character. And you're like, well, yeah, he's an entertainer.
Yeah, and also he was like really awful to his kids. And it's like, you're not going to be good to your kids if you're that good at something.
It's like, yeah, he was an entertainer.
His real kids are his music. I mean, it's like, I'm sorry that his kids suck now because he was an asshole.
Yeah, it's also like, I don't know, even if Bob Dylan is a character and was terrible to his kids, it's like he still succeeded in his goals.
I don't think his goal was be authentic and don't hit your kids.
Yeah.
That was never what he set out to do.
His goal was to just like be a poet and sometimes stand up for civil rights things he believed in. He did those very effectively. So it's like...
He did those, and after that, it's like, all right, if you want to hit your kids, it's fine.
I guess you can hit your kids.
You know?
I don't know. You're in Malibu. I don't live there.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on over there.
It's not my business.
Also, we don't know what the kids are doing. Are they talking back?
Just keep writing the songs, freak.
Yeah.
He's America's little freak. He ran away when he was 15 and said, I don't want to be Jewish no more.
I'm going to be Pat Seeger.
I'm going to be Woody Guthrie.
Yeah.
I found Woody Guthrie. I said, this guy's cool. I'm going to be
He's not Jewish, I don't believe. He was like, I'm Jewish. He's not Jewish.
So obviously
I gotta make a change.
I can't be Jewish. That's not going to work.
Then he's like, I'm going to name myself after my favorite poet. You know? Bob something.
The Builder.
Yeah, Bob the Builder.
Yeah. Well, people also shit on Bob the Builder because they say he's just a character.
Yeah,
and was mean to his kids. It's like, yeah, it's a TV show.
Yeah, he was mean. I hate the episode of Bob the Builder when he just beats the shit out of his kids and then goes into his stepdaughter's room.
I don't like it either, but it's a part of the canon. So It's like, you can't really say you're a Bob the Builder fan without sort of accepting that there are layers to him. He's not a perfect person.
It is a pretty harrowing scene, the scene where he's in bed with his wife and he makes sure she's asleep, and then he gets up and walks out of the room, and his stepson is looking at him, and he's just like kind of mean mugs his stepson, and then he goes into his stepdaughter's room.
And the stepson stands in the hall for a long time.
Yeah.
And it's weird how it's just gotten to that point where he doesn't even care.
This is just so common, you know?
Well, it's at a certain point you realize that he wants the stepson to know.
Yeah.
You know, it's the same thing as how, like, you know, the government isn't mad when police brutality videos get released. They want people to know that they're a violent force, and so did Bob the Builder, you know? But it just teaches you, it's like, don't look up to a drawing.
Yeah. I mean, that scene in Bob the Builder where it's a week after, like, it shows him, like, going into his stepdaughter's room, and then a week later, like, the mom is, like, yelling at her daughter, being like, you're a whore, you just want to take him away from me, why are you lying to me? And then just filling her bags up and kicks her stepdaughter onto the street, her 15-year-old daughter. It's pretty upsetting stuff.
It's a really upsetting show. I mean, the very last episode, it's like, I think it's brave in how depraved it is, where, like, the mother dies of a heroin overdose, and you really don't know Bob's, affiliation with that, if he maybe gave her the junk. And then the stepdaughter realizes, like, the mom's gone, and as mean as the mom was, the stepdaughter now has nobody to protect her from Bob.
Yeah.
And at that point, the stepbrother...
And she's just living on the street.
Well, the stepbrother's already moved away to be a gay prostitute in New York.
Yeah. She's just living on the street, and the last scene is you see the stepdaughter on the street, and then Bob pulls up in his Escalade, rolls down the window, and he's like, get in, you're gonna fucking get in.
And then it cuts to black.
And then she's like, no, it cuts to black. He's like, no. And then you see him get out of the car and grab her by her hair, and then it cuts to black.
Yeah, which I thought, it's like, they didn't even need to do that.
Yeah.
I thought they could have kept it at get in. I thought that would have been better writing. But the guys that made Bob were like, they were really...
They wanted you to know how bad this guy was.
Yeah, well, because it was during the Bush era.
Yeah.
And it's when a lot of stuff, like, people were angry, and there was still the ability to make kind of wild stuff on mainstream television.
Well, he was building Guantanamo Bay, was a big arc.
Yeah, for free.
Yeah.
Doing it for the love of the... He said, what's going to go on in here? And they told him, and he said, I'll build it for free as long as
I'm Bob the Builder. I love torture.
As long as I can vacation here.
Yeah. As long as I can watch you guys torture.
Just saw the scenes of him, like, bringing in trucks of car batteries into Guantanamo Bay with a smile on his face. I think that's
He never stops smiling, no matter how aggressive he gets.
Well, that's the real depravity of Bob the Builder, is the sort of smiling, happy face. It's sort of a image of the nuclear family, of what lies behind the smile.
Yeah, where you think that the suburbs are going to be nice, areas, but behind that veneer, you have a guy molesting his daughter and beating his son and ignoring his wife.
Yeah, I mean, I think what's so awful about Bob and about so many evil people is not even necessarily his depravity, but his indifference to it.
Yeah, and he doesn't seem to really enjoy it so much as he is kind of just does it, Well, like, it's the only thing he knows how to do.
I think it's an honest look at people who do those things, is that, really, as evil as they are products, and if you wanted to say, even unsympathetically, but say that, victims of their environment, that he's just he's exacting all of the rage that's been put into him by his own father and the world he grew up in. And it's, it sort of just shows that this cycle will never end.
I like the episode that's an hour long that's just all him in therapy, and the therapist at the end just kind of denies him, is like, you have to get the fuck out of my office, because it becomes an argument while he's still smiling, and it's called The Real Victim.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And you don't know whether or not the real victim is Bob, through society and through his upbringing, or the people around him exemplified by the therapist.
Well, it's crazy because you as the viewer, when you see him in therapy, you go, maybe all this will end. But also, if this ends, the show ends, and it's fictional, so I don't necessarily care if it ends. But also, it's like, does our perspective as a viewer reflect that of the world outside, of not caring and almost being, like, interested in the gossip of it all?
Well, yes, that's kind of part of the point of the show, is how much you're willing to watch as a viewer. You don't turn it off, and it's kind of like the way you turn a blind eye to all the immorality in your life.
I like when Bob looks directly at the camera and says, you love to watch me burn, because if you didn't, you wouldn't have anything to say to your wife.
Yeah.
And it's like, wow, what does that really say about our ability to watch suffering only so we can be entertained by it? And is that what we've all become in the commodification of people?
And I also like the cement mixer and how it makes cement.
The cement mixer is always an interesting
there's
symbol
no, like,
in the show, because it's a cement mixer and the symbol is fun.
Yeah. Yes,
The
yeah,
symbol
yeah.
is everybody loves cement mixers.
Yeah, I like that sort of half fun, half harrowing drama type of thing they got going on.
Yeah, because sometimes like he does something just absolutely unspeakable to a person who he's at least supposed to care about. But then he's like, look at this big building we built. And you're like, that is also cool though.
I love big buildings.
Yeah. So I think like the big buildings and molestation sort of speak to the layers and dichotomy of evil, and that you can't really you can't really
you can't take the idea of building up a area, like you can't take that capitalism away from the reality, of what it does to a human being's soul,
Yeah, I mean, the name Bob the Builder, I think like in the present day modern bourgeoisie capitalist society, it's meant to speak of progress. But
Yeah.
when you really reflect on it, what he's building is a capitalist superstructure in a cage.
But it contrasts that with the irony of what he's tearing down, which is the people that he's supposed to take care of.
And that really speaks to the true nature of capitalism.
Yeah.
Is that although, we may see some sort of material progress, what we do see is a degradation of humanity itself in favor of those buildings.
And that's why it's an interesting show and it's a fun show, and I would let my kids watch it.
Yeah.
And that's why it's on Nick Jr. or whatever.
You could say all the buildings are lined with the bodies of Bob's victims. But really
metaphorically.
But what Bob represents, because we see it as progress, but a lot of the progress now is really destruction of people.
Yes, destruction of people and the systems that are ostensibly supposed to make up what is the American dream.
I think it's just dumb. A lot of people have a reading of it as like just a general contractor who's evil, and it's like really like his exploitation of his stepdaughter. It speaks of the exploitation of labor.
Yes,
that he also gains his capital from, and then he uses that capital to amass power to exploit his daughter.
Yes, you're nailing it on the head. I would call it the Great American Show.
Yeah.
A lot of people say The Wire, The Sopranos. I'm going Bob the Builder.
But what I think is interesting about all great American art is that, a cursory view of it can really be something completely different than what's trying to be said by the author.
Yeah.
Because it's a much more subversive show than people want to admit.
Well, I thought Death of a Salesman was about an alive salesman, but when you really look close, the salesman dies.
And that's subversive.
Yeah, because you think reading Death of a Salesman, you're like, all right, he'll probably, die of old age or something at some point, and they won't depict it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because we all die.
Mm-hmm.
But then if you look closely, you have to have your Spark Notes for this too. If you look closely, he dies.
I would suggest if you're watching Bob the Builder, you do want to watch the accompaniment Bob the Builder Watcher.
Yeah,
so you can have the historical context.
Well, it has the Sopranos actors in it, and they kind of analyze it because those shows were running at the same time, so they would get excited, come home, and they'd like watch Bob the Builder and the box sets or whatever, and they were very influenced by it. Because Bob the Builder was the first like really evil protagonist in TV. Mm-hmm. So it was a big influence on Tony Soprano, James Gandolfini's performance. Gandolfini, I mean, he and David Chase, they said like that, like the sickness of Bob the Builder, like they don't have as sick of a mind as the creator. And so,
it seems to me that you get what you want from Bob the Builder, where it seems that like only artists and some aspects of the working class really understand what the show's about. But like Peter Thiel, Steve Bannon, Curtis Yarvin have all talked about Bob the Builder as like a role model
or an Ubermensch.
Yeah, and his understanding of true power dynamics in what they believe is to be an anarchic, animalistic, violent world.
And it's fucked up, it's like sometimes when you hear these guys love the show, you're like, did the show not accomplish what it set out to say? But then you think about it, you're like, is art supposed to exist in this kind of space where anybody can get what they want out of it?
Well, it's the death of the author.
So
it's like you can't be mad at it. It's just what would happen.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like personally, I find Nick Land's recent writings on Bob the Builder to be a complete like misunderstanding
Yes.
of what the show's trying to say.
Yeah.
Because his earlier writings on it at a different time when he was still with those other guys in the UK or whatever, it seemed more understanding of the general conceit of the show. But that's also an interesting aspect of how like a person's own personal development will change their perception of the show.
I've watched Bob the Builder 3 times all the way through. I watched it when I was a teenager first, and I watched it because it was edgy. It was like edgy. It was crazy. I was like,
at first it's just fun.
Yeah, it's shocking.
Like, this is crazy.
Like, it's shocking. When I watched it another time, I was about 20 years old, and I started picking up on the deeper like implications of the Bob the Builder world and like what it's actually trying to say.
Mm-hmm.
And in this last time I've watched it, I've been watching it on a more emotional level. You know, as I've gotten older, I've started to know people like Bob, you know, and I've started to be able to interact with them in the world and seeing the destruction they cause. And it was a very emotional experience for me. It made me tear up at points, thinking about like just the lows that the human race will go to and the lows of the people that I've met in this crazy world.
Well, when you watch it when you're young, you think the show's about Bob.
Yeah.
But when you get older, you realize really the main characters are the stepdaughter and the wife, and rather.
Well, that's how I felt when I was 21. But now that I'm 20, I watched it last year. I was 27. Started to realize the real main character of Bob the Builder is the American dream.
Yeah, I guess what I'm saying when I say stepdaughter and wife is more so they represent
one side,
that greater American thing, you know. Because
and
within
the cement
them,
mixer represents like how much
cement can get mixed.
Yeah, how much? Yeah,
which is a lot.
It's a lot of cement,
which is more than people realize.
Yeah,
but yeah, I think the hope for change from Bob the Builder reflects the hope for reform that idealistic liberals seek from a capitalist system.
Yeah,
that is set on exploitation. That there are still people who hope that Bob will change his ways because he's positioned himself as a provider and the authority.
Yeah.
But people don't understand that authority is not self-justified and does not exist to help other people, but really only to usurp more and more power, land, and capital.
One of the more interesting episodes to me was the election episode, the mayor episode, when the mayor gets elected, where Bob starts, he wants to vote for like the Democratic one, you know, because it's like that's how he's been raised. His dad was in a union, and that kind of helped him growing up. But as like the right-wing mayor, you know, talks with him, and you know, it's a pretty intense scene where the right-wing mayor, you know, describes how his like policies will help him, you know, with like tax breaks and, you know, all this sorts of stuff. And so Bob the Builder takes his dead dad's birth certificate and stuff and falsely uses his dead parents to vote for the mayor, and the mayor gets elected. And it really just shows who these people are, that they'll turn their backs on the stuff that's helped them. Because I mean, Bob the Builder, he grew up on like food stamps, he grew up on like you know, all that sort of stuff. And his dad's a union job, it could only pay so much, you know. And all these social systems that he grew up in, like housing projects, you know.
Yeah,
and it also shows that, you know, the flashback episode's interesting, where it shows that part of the reason he wants to be a builder, you know, is to create better, like low-income housing for people and like develop it in a way that isn't as constricting as the ones he grew up in.
Well, they track the progress and moral degradation of a person's character very well through the systems he inhabits. Because before the election episode, there is the union episode, and it shows how a union, albeit, you know, supposed to be for the workers, can be kind of overcome by a strong man. And then when Bob heads the union and then starts skimming money off the union, and then working with the capitalists and essentially kind of turns his back on the rest of the union, it shows how even a union without a good horizontal structure and rather a hierarchical one can be corrupted.
Yeah.
So then the election episode makes even more sense, because him dropping the union at that point is less even dropping the union, is more as understanding what his ideology really has become, which is that of the capitalist. Because he'd been using the union for capitalist purposes to begin with. He'd already abandoned the real ideology of the union, you know?
Bingo.
And that's why, like, holding on to your ideology is very important, even if you think you have systems that support it.
Yeah.
And that's why Bob the Builder has been used as a way to talk about some of the faults of China and
Yeah.
of the Soviet Union. That although the ideologies were the impetus for some of those organizations were in some ways corrupted by bureaucracy and hierarchical order that dismantled the very ideology that built it, you know?
I do want to talk a little bit about the episode that came immediately after the mayor episode. Those two like heavy episodes was the Cement Mixer's surprise birthday party, which, you know, if you look at it deeply, represents how birthdays are fun and are good.
Yeah, I liked that they put cake in the cement mixer
Yeah,
because that's how he eats it.
yeah, and that was very fun.
Yeah, that was fun. But even that episode, you know,
There's kind of a dark moment where he thinks that they had forgot his birthday.
well, he thinks that they forgot his birthday and then he remembers. But then also, you know, you are reminded that the cement mixer does have to go back to work the next day. And he did work a little bit.
You're reading it too hard.
I am.
Yeah, that's too hard.
One of the
because it's just an episode about the cement mixer goes up to people and he's like, "Do you have anything?" He's like talking. They're like, "Oh, hey." He's like, "Do you have anything to say to me?" And they're like, "No." And so he's sad, but then he decides to go hang out with his friends, and it's a surprise birthday.
Yeah, and that's
and
awesome.
That represents how your friends sometimes have your back.
I like that the amount of candles on the cake represents the age of the cement mixer.
Yeah.
If you really look at it, that's what that means.
Yeah.
I think one of the pivotal moments in the show, though, was when there's the housing development on the undeveloped plot of land that Bob used to play. It's a foliage, a woods area that Bob used to play like fantasy games when he was like 6 years old with his friends in, and that was such a world for him and was completely developed and had so much to offer him. But now in his older age, he has to tear down those woods for a new mall to be built. And that is, I think, one of the clearest examples of the change in his personage, from going from humanity and what can be taken from the earth without destroying it into, you know, the nature and the world around you being only resources to suck up. That's like his true turn into something that just eats the world around him.
One of the great metaphors in the show, because that happens in the first season.
Yeah.
That happens in the first season. By the fifth season, that mall the stores have been closed, and really it's just a place for like teenage gang members to hang out.
Yeah.
Until it's finally destroyed in the penultimate episode.
Yeah. Well, it's a great example of how it's like, yeah, that really didn't serve a purpose other than money, and when the money wasn't there, it was abandoned.
Yeah.
You know, because at first it was a thriving mall with, you know, independent businesses doing well within them, but then private equity came in and started cost cutting and really just, you know, bled the place dry.
Yeah.
You know, Bob, meanwhile, has deals with all these guys.
Yeah.
And so it's like it's just layers upon layers of like tearing down his own woods and then building something and then letting it be sucked dry to make more money. It's like that's like his final stage into this just sort of like amorphous vampire of the world around him.
Yeah.
That, you know, but still he remains smiling.
Yeah.
And I think that's what a lot of people get angry at the show is they go, why is there no moment, you know, of realization? But it speaks to, you know, the sociopathy.
Well, there never was going to be one.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And you shouldn't have expected there to be because, you know, it's an antisocial person acting within an antisocial system.
People think because in the first episode, he helps the school kids, like, you know, he builds the school or whatever. They think like, oh, this is the real Bob, and he slowly descends. But the real Bob is what was always behind the brain, as you see in the show.
Yeah. I would say that, like, because the writers of the show were heavily influenced by Deleuze and Guattari's Capitalism and Schizophrenia.
Yeah.
And really that book is kind of just really like the theoretical it's almost like the roadmap to the show itself.
And they were also very influenced by Clifford the Big Red Dog.
Yes,
that was
because
a big one for them.
They
also
realized that in an animated show, it is good to have big things, and so that's
a lot of this stuff is huge.
That's where you get the cement mixer. That's where you get the big buildings. So I think it's that intersection of sort of postmodern capitalist theory with big things.
Yeah,
that I don't know. I think speaks to the world we're living in right now.
Yeah,
you know.
Anyway, so. Now that we're done with our Bob the Builder recap, which we usually do that, right?
That's how we start every episode.
Yeah. Yeah, 25 minutes of Bob the
About
Builder.
25 minutes. Of
Yeah.
Straight Bob the Builder.
How are you?
Fuck. No, I'm good. What have I been up to lately? I mean, same old shit. I don't know. I did a free show last night, and nobody gives a fuck about free shows.
Nobody, yeah.
I was doing a show. It was on an outdoor patio of a Barney's Beanery, and it was on, like, the second story, and while I was doing my material, a guy kept going, like, woo! From the ground, and it sucks because it's really easy to make fun of stand-up.
Yeah.
If you see a guy expressing his ideas,
You're
it's
like,
so easy to be like, fuck yeah.
Yeah, this sucks.
Yeah. Well, you know stand-up's embarrassing because you can make fun of it by supporting it.
Yeah.
Like, you know.
Weirdly, it's kind of weird. I feel like areas like Pasadena, I think middle-class people are more likely to hate stand-up. Like, they're more likely to be like, man, fuck stand-up. I feel like people, well, not even middle-class. I think areas like Pasadena, which are more wealthy, I think people are more likely to be like, why aren't you just doing, like, some shit that's, like, sucks? Why aren't you doing some shit that, like, that I take seriously but actually sucks?
Well, I think I don't know, it's almost like they resent the silliness of it.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, you're a fool.
Well, they like fake art. Rich people love fake art.
I mean, the rich people art now is crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, I've talked about it before, but, like, the art they make for rich people, like, I remember I saw these, like, gold onyx, like this, like, beautiful stone that they had carved into the shape of, like, Birkin bags. And it's like a lot of rich art now is like fetishizing being so rich and, like, liking it.
But also, like, they want to, like, have that thing of being like, we're making fun of it. It's irony, actually. But it's like, no, it's not.
But it's so crazy because, like, how?
Yeah.
How is it irony?
Yeah.
You took a beautiful stone that you made a child mine, and then you formed it into a symbol of an expensive handbag.
Yeah.
At what point is this ironic?
That's the escape hatch they got.
It's just like, you can't just escape responsibility or, like, gain awareness while also not, like, abdicating any of the wealth.
Yeah.
At that point, you're just making fun of all of us.
Oh, yeah, they hate us.
Yeah, it's like,
they
no, you
fucking hate us.
It's like, no, you hate us. You don't hate you.
Yeah.
You're wasting so much money and resources on making stuff that talks about how rich you are while staying rich.
It's also funny how they, like, rich people within the last couple of years have started loving Memphis rap. And it's funny because it's like, you hate this, actually. You kind of hate this. You kind of, like, you don't respect this at all.
Well, yeah, I mean, there's always, like, the closest you get, I feel like, to rich people really appreciating, like, poor art is just kind of like an excursion tourist nature of it.
Yeah.
They pop in, they pop out, they don't have a connection to it, so
yeah,
you can immediately start playing with it.
It's really disturbing. It's like, really, because it's funny where it's like these people are into, like, this stuff. I listened to it when I was, like, a fucking kid. And then they're like, isn't this ridiculous, kind of?
Yeah.
I can just listen to this. This is ridiculous.
I mean, I guess that's
how people treat 3 6 Mafia. They treat it like it's a fucking joke. Like, there's jokes in it, but they treat it like it's, like, absurd.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, Project Pat? He's like, isn't he a fucking idiot? It's like, no. He's better at this than you are at fucking anything.
Well, I think it's because they want to feel authentic listening to it, and so if they take it seriously and really try and talk about it, they feel like people are going to be like, well, you don't really understand it, you're just trying to act like you get it, so they go, well, what I can do is kind of make fun of it.
But I don't even know if they know they're making fun of it, but they're definitely
I think it's their way of trying to appreciate it.
Yeah.
By, like, not respecting it, by not being afraid of it, is to say that they don't view it as an other, but as something as part of their life, and it's, like, sort of one of the greatest, forms of, like, flattery would be to kind of poke fun at it.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm not afraid of this. I don't view it as holier than thou. I view it as things we're all a part of. And so because of that, I criticize it to show that, like, I almost have a respect for it. I think that's the thinking.
What a bunch of fucking morons.
Well, yeah, I mean, they don't have, like,
Why does every rich person, they're doing verticals? They're doing, like, a lot of people are doing verticals. And I gotta act like, if you're an actor that does verticals, it's fine. But if you're in any other part of verticals, I don't give a, like, you do nothing.
Yeah.
You do fucking nothing.
I mean,
Congrats.
Everybody just knows they do nothing now.
Yeah.
It's like you talk to people who like work at like evil startups or in verticals, and they're like, "Yeah, it's fucking crazy. It's like evil."
Yeah.
But they're
they're
not
like, you got to make money.
They're not the boss of it, so
It is at a certain point. I mean, it is crazy to just have no morals at all. To just be like, well, you are contributing, no matter how ironically or like how self-aware you think you are, you're still fucking doing it. You wouldn't be self-aware if you weren't. You're not actually self-aware.
Well, it's like they've created a system where having morals gets you like farther and farther away from society.
Yeah.
Like we're all on a certain spectrum of sacrificing some morals to remain within society.
Yeah.
Like we both have money in a bank. We both have an iPhone.
Yes.
We both, at least in small ways, contribute to the notion of private property.
Yeah.
Because those three things are almost impossible not to do.
Yeah.
And if we denied them, we'd be exempted from society.
Yeah.
But in reality, it's like we should all stop partaking in all those things.
Yeah.
But if only a few of us do it, then the only result is those
go
few.
home and throw your social security card in the trash.
Yeah, I mean that's the It's like if we all, it's like it's also interesting. It's like we could have a revolution in this country by just not leaving our houses.
Yeah.
Like if we all stayed in our apartments, refused to go to work, and refused to pay rent, we could change the whole country.
Yeah.
Forever. And like almost just by virtue of doing that, install like a stateless, classless society without private property.
Yeah.
But, not a lot of us are going to do that. And if we all did, the cops would probably just come in our homes and like put a gun to our head until we went to work again.
Yeah.
I don't even know what they would do though.
They have to go to every house.
But it's weird how like a completely non-violent, just lazy revolution would like destroy everything.
Yeah.
In like a week. Like if we all stayed home for a week, the entire system would crumble.
Yeah. But there would be people that would just go to work and they would ruin it all.
There's people that go to work. Yeah.
Yeah. Fucking assholes.
There's always people that go to work.
Scabs.
Well, it's...
Why does the city of LA think I'm going to be such a good juror? Because they keep sending me... I keep not being able to do it, and they keep sending me... Why the fuck do you guys think I would be good for this?
A lot of people get into jury nullification as a revolutionary act, where you say yes to jury duty, and no matter what, you say not guilty.
That's pretty good.
Where you just go, and it's like one person said they turned over a murder trial because it was like a 12 Angry Men thing where everybody said yes, and they were like no, and they just kept saying not guilty doesn't mean they innocent.
Yeah.
It just means I don't trust the system to deal with this.
Yeah.
And then over 3 days, they like got the guy off.
That's cool.
So sometimes
wonder
it's
what
like,
happened to that guy.
I mean, maybe just killed another guy. That's,
He's like, he kills another guy, and he's like, hope there's one woke juror.
Yeah. Well, it's either like, I don't know. He probably got out and just went home. It's probably good he didn't go to the building that makes you better at killing other guys. Either way, you know what I mean? It's like, I don't know. It's probably fine.
One time a guy showed me how to make a fleshlight out of just stuff that you make in prison.
Yep.
Like, it is funny about that. I was talking about that on stage yesterday. I was like, it's funny you showed this to me because, like, I don't need to know this. I don't think I'm ever going to need to know because I don't even use a fleshlight outside of prison.
Yeah. Well, it's something you either, like, learn from a guy who was in prison or you learn when you're 12 and you, like, can't buy a fleshlight.
Yeah.
And so you Google it and then you go, I don't really want to do that, but okay.
It's like, you got to be so resourceful in prison. You learn all sorts of shit, how to make stuff. You can make a knife out of soap.
Yeah, they make everything in there.
Yeah.
Makeup, pizza.
Wine. Well, they make wine out of orange rinds.
Mm-hmm. I like the fashion they come up with in prison.
Oh, I know you would love that.
Cool guys do it too.
Yeah, you love cool guys.
Listen, I've seen guys that are very intimidating and scary with very cool clothes on in prison that they sewed themselves.
That is pretty cool, though.
I think it's badass. Get a fit off in prison.
Yeah.
As long as you've already established yourself as like a guy that will fucking kill everybody.
Yeah.
Or a guy that hangs out with guys that will kill everybody.
We should do soft white underbelly on the podcast. But like, for like a guy who's in between jobs.
So you used to work at FedEx? Yeah. So
Well, what are you going to do next? He's like, I'm applying. And we're like, ooh.
Whoa.
Oh, that's crazy.
We should do soft white underbelly, but have like a 17-year-old hooker on, and then everything she says, just be like, ew, what the fuck? Because that's just what soft white underbelly kind of really is.
Yeah.
It's funny.
You're crazy.
Yeah, it's funny that if you just don't say like, ew, you're crazy and you're gross, then people are like, no, it's smart and good.
Yeah.
And you're like,
I'm learning a lot.
Yeah, it's like, no, this is just like boring bum fights, essentially.
Yeah.
This is just listen, we already got the interviews with these guys. It's also like, you're never good. I don't know. You're not going to like learn the overarching issues of poverty. You're just going to listen to somebody be like, well, I got fucked by my stepdad a bunch, and then I moved here, and then I met a guy, and he kind of did what my stepdad did.
Yeah, it's like you're like, shit, fucking bananas.
Yeah.
This shit is crazy.
This shit is crazy.
Yeah. There's a girl that lives in my apartment that seems like she's probably like 19, maybe even younger than that, who's hooking with some old guy. Like the guy always needs access to the building.
Mm.
And I'm like, oh, okay. It's definitely not his daughter because they're different race.
That's the fellow that looks out for that lady and takes her for walks or something.
Yeah, I mean, I do see them go for walks. I'm pretty sure I've seen them holding hands.
He takes her for the walks that make her sad.
Yeah.
She goes on a walk for like 7 hours, then comes back sad and her hair's all messed up.
Yeah, and then she goes back to her apartment where 12 other teenagers live.
Really?
Yeah, there's like a squat house in my building that like there's like teen runaways stay there.
Interesting.
Like fucking 12 people live there. I don't know if I've told this story in the podcast before.
I've never heard about this.
So the squat house, there was this couple. They were both this couple. They were like both about 18, and they lived in this building. And he would just like yell at her all the time. He would scream at her all the time and threaten to kill himself and shit. I don't think he ever hit her, but somebody called the cops, and the cops had blocked off my entire building, so I had to park like really far away.
Bullshit.
And so I walked back to my building. As soon as I get to the building, the cops are taking this guy out of the building. They're taking him out of the building, and he's like screaming, "I want to die! I want to die! I want to die!" And then they throw him into the cop car. And as I'm walking by, I hear zzz, and him like getting zapped, and he's like screaming in agony.
Wow.
This guy's like 18.
So then, did the girlfriend stay and then more people moved in, or did they both leave?
I haven't seen him. Since.
Have you seen the girlfriend?
Mm-mm. I've actually never seen the girlfriend. I've only seen him.
Oh.
Yeah.
He's sort of the face of the operation.
Yeah. Sometimes my roommates will be like, I'll sleep through something crazy sometimes. My roommates will be like, yeah, did you hear the helicopter outside that said, put the gun down?
Do you ever see police chases near your apartment?
Only on Western and Santa Monica.
I saw 2 go down right in front of the apartment off Middlebury where I used to live.
Yeah.
I remember I was smoking a cigarette and I was like, damn, that guy's driving really fast. And then like 5 cop cars were following him and I was like, he's not going to make it.
It's crazy what, like, if you live in like I don't know if I guess it's a bad neighborhood, but not anymore. But it was a bad neighborhood, a couple of years ago.
Well, it's like a poor neighborhood.
Yeah.
It's not necessarily.
It's just working.
Dangerous.
It's a working class, gritty neighborhood. But like just smoking cigarettes, you see so much crazy shit.
Yeah. Seeing a police chase is just so funny because at first you just think you're seeing a guy driving too fast.
Yeah.
And then you go, I would also be driving fast.
If there was 8 guys chasing 8 cars after me,
it doesn't even matter.
Every police chase, they have like 20 cars going after one guy.
Yeah.
You can use one car.
Well,
fuck you need 20 guys? Because if you have 20 cars, they're all just behind one car.
Well, they get too excited.
Yeah.
They don't have anything going on.
They're like, if I catch this guy, I get to beat his ass.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like a race.
Yeah.
The cops are just racing to see who can get there and beat the guy up.
They're like, I don't want to go like help all the people who need help right now. But there's a guy, I can drive fast and I can maybe shoot a teenager to death. So I'm going to get on this call.
Isn't that crazy about LAPD that they have the lowest, I don't know if this is still true, but of all the major cities in America, there's the least police per person. But whenever you see the police, you see fucking 20 of them.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't know. I wonder if that's like related to like the lawsuits that LA suffer. Like the LAPD is just constantly getting sued.
Well, it's just an intimidation tactic.
Yeah.
I mean, most of what they do is kind of, I was just thinking about like police shootings and I was like, we kind of act like the police departments or the government like doesn't like it.
Yeah.
There's a video of the police killing a guy, but it's like, of course they like it. Nobody's going to get them in trouble and they want people to know that they can shoot you in the fucking head, and the most that'll happen is some guy who's a cop will go to jail. But that doesn't possibly, and that doesn't even affect the power structure.
They're like, a couple years ago, they're like, ah, damn, now we got to start sending these guys to jail.
Yeah.
Like 6 years ago, they just finally started putting them in jail.
But they don't even give a fuck about that because they're just like, yeah, we just get poor guys to do this, act as our mercenaries. So it's like,
we get a bunch of guys from trailer parks to come and shoot black people.
Yeah, and then God forbid we have to send one to jail. We send people to jail all the fucking time. We don't give a shit.
Yeah, so I mean, I guess this has the most prisoners of any country or something.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing is like a cop who killed an unarmed citizen will go to jail, and everybody's like, oh fuck yeah, and it's like the system's still in place, and that's
the guy's still dead.
It's just another guy in prison, and the guy's still dead.
Yeah,
and the entire system that allowed him to die still exists.
Yeah,
the system that killed him is like, we're gonna train him differently. No, you're not.
Yeah,
it doesn't matter if you train him differently. You're giving.
We're gonna have him aim lower.
We're gonna train the guys who are allowed to kill anybody better, but we're still gonna allow them to kill anybody because if they don't, it would be chaos. And it's like you're killing everybody.
Yeah, we got the hired killers out on the streets. It's funny when you see a cop walking. Well, you don't see that in LA.
No.
You see a cop walking and you're like, shit, it's the assassin. We got the neighborhood assassin here.
Oh, there's that guy from the biggest gang in the world. Trying to stop the smaller gangs who are making a little money off the same business they do.
And what is interesting, the smaller gangs, that guy's walking in the opposite direction because they're right over there. Those guys are over there.
He doesn't seem to be interested in them.
That's interesting.
Really mad at this one guy selling cigarettes, though.
Wait a minute. That cop is in the hooker part of town. I guess he's going to arrest these. Oh, what? No, she's getting in the car. Oh, she's sucking his dick.
Oh.
He must be trying it out to see how it is.
He must be doing deep recon. He's really deep in her pussy doing recon.
He must be like trying to get in the head of a John so he can better arrest them.
I mean, gangs defend their friends, and that's cool. The police are a gang that defends private property, and that is gay.
Yeah.
That's not
you
dope
like
at all.
Privates?
Yeah.
You're a private and you like privates.
You love dick.
Yeah.
Try and write a rap song about defending private property. It's not cool.
I guess there's probably rap songs about, like, don't rob me.
Yeah. But, it's not really their job to defend the concept of private property. They're kind of just under the imposition of it.
What if they do reform the police and they have all these songs like We Love the Police? They fixed it. They made them us our friends.
If rappers start having songs like, I love when the cops come into town because they make it all cool even though I'm brown.
I'm friends with the cops on my block. They don't arrest me even though I smoke weed.
Fuck yeah, the police.
Yeah, all right. What if they, instead of having them take care of crimes, they hire them to be our friends? Like the government hires us our own friends that come around in their cars that make blue and red lights, so they turn them on when we're partying, like strobe lights.
Be awesome.
Yeah, we're dancing to the police lights.
And they got those speakers and they can be like, get the party started. Shake that ass.
I've heard a noise complaint around here. The noise ain't loud enough.
Uh-huh. I mean, the cops could, like, really save their image by just pulling up to block parties with the lights on and then being like, we've heard people are being loud. but not loud enough. And then just play music.
Make some noise.
Yeah.
I've heard a complaint from your neighbors that not everybody's joining on the party.
Pulling up to a Black Family reunion. We got some complaints that not everybody's reconnecting well enough.
I love when the police come because they bring burgers. They bring even more burgers.
My gun in the air.
Officer O'Malley mans the grill.
Yeah, they open their trunk and it's a grill. We've replaced the trunk. It's not full of shotguns and stuff that kills kids anymore. It's full of burgers and fries. It's full of hot grease. And we drive
Officer
around
O'Malley came with the Impossible Burgers.
Oh shit, the vegan niece gets to eat now. She felt a little excluded by the family because they didn't provide vegan options.
We're so proud of her. She's the first to go to college.
Officer O'Malley pulled up to the graduation party and congratulated Tanisha on getting a communications degree. And then he left because it wasn't his space.
He's like, hey, when you publish your first poetry book, you know where to find me.
Yeah.
I'm at that police station down there. Come by anytime to just hang.
We have comfortable couches now and a basketball court and places to hang.
We even built a soup kitchen, but gives you burgers.
We made a meditation room. We're introducing kids in the community to de-stressing tactics. All the kids growing up in hard economic times are learning breathing mechanisms. They're dealing with the stress of poverty better than before. Shit.
Officer O'Malley came by and just talked to me about, how he had it tough growing up too, and we just kind of connected.
Oh shit. 50 police officers just came in and supported a new black business. They spent so much money at the Hood Burger joint. It really did great for them on their first day. It boosted sales. And then they shot their gun in the air because that's always cool.
Yeah.
But it wasn't scary this time.
They shot their gun in the air, but it was an airsoft gun.
They took out what looked like a bazooka, but it was fireworks to celebrate the opening of the new burger joint. Holy shit.
Holy shit, Officer O'Malley is proud of me.
They just put spike strips in the street, but it's just so we can dance in the street and have a block party. It's safer for kids to run around.
They put anti-homeless architecture on the bench, but it was because they just built new housing.
They stopped building anti-homeless architecture and just built fucking houses that those guys could live in instead of not letting them sleep on benches.
They told them that we have no control over how you live your life, but at least you can have a home.
Oh, shit. They let the guys in Skid Row live in the abandoned buildings nobody's using. They didn't even really have to build anything. They just let them inside to the places that already existed.
Shit, Officer O'Malley is breakdancing. He's better than us.
He's so good at breakdancing. Oh my God, Officer O'Malley can freestyle and he doesn't use the N-word. He's just good at freestyling.
Oh my God, they made the N-word illegal for white people.
Holy shit, the mayor just declared it Project Pat Day. That is so cool. What a recognition of his artistic contribution.
They burned down Calabasas. They dropped napalm on Hidden Hills.
They realized it was probably bad. They realized ultimately that place was kind of bad.
Oh my God, Beverly Hills is on fire and then we're all dancing.
Holy shit.
They're in the Pacific Palisades, throwing up gang signs talking about how this is good.
All the people in the community are talking about how the businesses have changed so much in the past 30 years, but it's because they all became worker-owned. Everybody's making a fair wage. Their labor is equally compensated. Oh my God.
All right, I have an idea. What neighborhoods in LA should be napalmed?
Beverly Hills.
Beverly Hills, Hidden Hills,
Bel Air.
Calabasas, Bel Air. Let's see, what else should be napalmed? Because we got 4.
I mean, those are the real parts of Malibu.
Half of Malibu. But that'll just burn by itself.
That'll burn by itself.
So we don't got to napalm
Yeah,
it.
I mean, the Palisades kind of fix themselves.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, the thing is, it's like there's not a lot of places because the rich don't, they stay in pockets.
Yeah.
So you burn all those places
Most
down.
of Orange County.
Yeah.
Fucking... And then you got to move up. You got to move north to NorCal. There's probably way more parts of NorCal that should be napalmed.
Well, I mean, every, tech place should really be burned to the ground as fast as possible.
Yeah.
Like, every house and building that Peter Thiel owns and Sam Altman and the Apple campus and Amazon.
Yeah. Almost all of New York should be burned, except for the north part of Manhattan, I guess. The more northern parts of Manhattan. Most of Brooklyn should be burned. Queens is getting to the point where it should be burned. Shit, we're gentrifying the neighborhood. Now it should be burned.
Queens is getting close to burning time. Y'all keep going like this, we're going to have to burn it. You know that.
Yeah, remember when you guys made it so the Brooklyn should be burned?
Certain parts of certain houses in Virginia and Louisiana and Florida.
Yeah.
Got to get burned.
Everywhere in the country has areas that should be burned.
West Palm Beach.
Yeah.
Burn that down. I mean, that'll be...
Burn down Palm Springs.
That'll be underwater.
All of Connecticut, except for certain pockets of the inner city and, New Haven and... What's the other place? What's the other place in Connecticut?
I don't know.
Just whatever.
Hartford?
Just kill most people in Connecticut. Kill every white person in Connecticut.
Sure.
I think that's the move.
Why not? You got to start somewhere.
And we're not starting anywhere. We haven't started anywhere yet.
No. A lot of times the only places that get burned are the poor places.
Yeah, like the Bronx.
It's really hard to walk to the rich places. And if you're burning stuff, you're usually walking.
Yeah. But also parts of it's hard to get to poor places a lot of times. But it's once you get there you can walk. But the Bronx seems hard to get to. The Bronx is funny because you're somebody was telling us it's really difficult to get places.
Yeah. They just, it's one of those places where they're like, we'll build one line.
Yeah.
It gets you to the general area, but...
They get you to the fucking stadium.
But mostly fuck that place.
Yeah.
It is funny how... I don't know, yeah, people be like, well, how are you going to exist without a government? It's the government is deciding to just fuck half the places in the country.
Yeah.
It's a select few people who are if we all decided most of these places wouldn't be fucked.
You go to Appalachian, you're if it wasn't for the government, this would really suck.
Thank God.
Thank God the one sheriff there.
Oh, thank God the government is making this place so awesome. Doing everything they can to...
Look at how cool that shack is.
They're providing for these people, and they're definitely not destroying their means to provide for themselves. It's not like the ability to live off the land has been forcibly taken away from most of the inhabitants of Appalachia.
It's pretty crazy. New York is the richest city in America, biggest city, most people, and then they just have a part where they're fuck it.
Well, that's how
they have an entire island where they're man, fuck that shit.
Well, that's how you become. I mean, it's the richest place is always funny because it's it's the most money.
Yeah,
but
it's not the richest.
It's not the most people with money.
Manhattan, though.
Yeah, but it's just so concentrated. Is what
yeah,
I mean.
Yeah.
It's all in one place.
We should just build our own New York and Los Angeles. It's big. Los Angeles is bigger, so you can make your own New York.
We could have a New York.
Yeah.
We could make Catalina Manhattan.
And San Bernardino's the Bronx, I guess?
Yeah. I mean, There's also a lot of places like Vernon and,
Yeah,
areas
south.
in south central-ish or, southish that are pretty just ignored.
Yeah.
I mean, there's places in like Vernon where you're like, they don't even have a sidewalk. They didn't even put a sidewalk.
I've never been to Vernon.
Well, it's mostly industrial.
Yeah.
And then I saw like one kind of small like row of stores in a parking lot, but the parking lot was like, it's like they just like dropped the asphalt and didn't form it at all.
Yeah.
It just sort of fell in front of and then like molds into the street with no sidewalk. And it's like, I don't even see a place to live near here or how you would get here.
There's like 3 places in LA where like less than 100 people live.
Yeah, it's crazy. And then it's like everybody living there is just like existing in these like gray zones where there's like nobody watching those areas of the streets. So like after a certain hour, it's like you could like dismember somebody on the sidewalk.
Yeah.
And like nobody would stop their car.
Yeah.
Or it barely even notice. And then people just be like, man, those people are all fucking stupid.
Well, they'd see someone dismembering somebody and be like, hey, wasn't that person full earlier? Weren't they all? Interesting how that person used to be all.
That person is no longer.
Now they're not even most.
Would have sworn I saw that guy and he was mostly a guy. Now he's just a bunch of pieces.
Guess that's how they do it out here.
I guess that's what they choose to do out here.
They choose to become pieces. Oh, that guy's an idiot. He has his heart on the outside.
I really want to take all the CEOs and all the people that are considered the smartest, best people and put them in Vernon and be like, all right.
This is the coolest place.
Make it awesome.
Yeah.
Do what you guys do, right?
Yeah.
Do it. Make it sick. With no money. Just make it awesome. Get jobs here. Live like the people here and make it fucking sick.
You remember that TV show 30 Days?
Yeah, what do they, like, switch people's lives or something?
No, it's like, I don't know if it's called 30 Days, but it's the Super Size Me guy where he just does something for 30 days.
Oh,
He'll do stuff like be on food stamps for 30 days and be like, this is hard. And it's like, yeah, no shit.
He is probably the most useless person that's ever lived.
He's like, I do stuff for 30 days.
He's like, whoa, eating McDonald's was crazy. You're like, yeah, did your stomach hurt?
Yeah.
You stupid idiot. He also ate
it 3 times a day.
Nobody's doing that. No, like there's nobody doing that.
Yeah.
Poor people aren't able to eat it 3 times. Whoever is eating
Super Size Me, he's getting it to super size.
Well, he also ruined all the results of it because he was a hardcore alcoholic the entire time.
Yeah.
He also has some other thing where he's
like, if you eat McDonald's enough, you hit your girlfriend.
Yeah. I guess if you eat McDonald's enough, you drive worse.
If you eat McDonald's enough, you forget long periods of your life.
You kind of lose all emotional regulation, I guess, from the McDonald's.
Yeah.
He also did a thing where
I was eating McDonald's and then I had sex with my daughter.
What the hell?
McDonald's should be stopped.
McDonald's must stop. He did something where he ran a fast food place for like 30 days and was like, I'm going to try and make it healthy. And then he was like, oh, it costs a lot to do that. It's like, what are you showing us? Yes, it costs. What are you talking about? Like, every fucking thing he makes is like, yeah, it seems like we don't really have a good system.
Yeah.
And it's like, do something that's known. That's been known since like 1850.
He's like, I'm going 30 days as a guy who R's women. Day 29. R'd like 100 women, finally got arrested.
They seem to hate it. Who knew? Who knew? Well,
guess I'm going back to eating burgers.
I guess we've learned a lot. Have we, Morgan? Rest in piss.
Oh, yeah, I forgot he died.
Yeah, I hope he died in pain.
Oh, he probably did.
What a
on his deathbed, he was like, all right, 30 days, we're going to try dying.
Do it faster.
Yeah.
Die in one day.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's like, oh shit, all the mistakes in my life are popping up.
Yeah.
Oh shit, my children are visiting me.
On day 10, I'm realizing that I lived a completely useless life and all my documentaries were just completely self-serving.
My son has not visited me.
Huh.
Day 29 of my son not visiting me when I'm dying.
It's starting to seem really real now. Starting to seem like everything I've done can't be undone.
The nurse is still beating me up. The nurse is still hitting me and saying that no one's coming, so it doesn't matter.
Kind of seems like commenting on systems without really having any thoughts on dismantling or changing them in any way wasn't really helpful.
Day 30, I'm about to do my rattle.
Uh-oh, I just made a 30-day commercial for McDonald's. Oh, shit. My bad. I just made McDonald's really better at marketing itself.
Does he have like...
He was a Fed.
Does he have like did he have like a deal with schools or something? Like, he's like, Super Size Me is just to be shown in schools.
Yeah.
I don't think anyone's ever watched it outside of a school.
I don't know. It was just at a time where, like, nobody really knew what we were talking about.
Yeah.
There was, like, 4 guys who were politically educated. And everybody else was just like, shit is crazy.
Eeny, meeny, miny, and mo.
Yeah.
Those were the 4 guys.
And the Pep Boys.
Yeah.
The Pep Boys were the only guys talking about, like, Israel-Palestine before October 7th.
I did go through my notes and looked up the word Israel, and I did have jokes about Israel from, like, 2001, so I guess I knew that it was bad.
What do you mean 2001?
Or 2001, 2021. Sorry, misspoke. I made it more.
Yeah, don't do that.
Yeah. So I've been talking about this whole time, because I think I looked because somebody was like, yeah, no one was talking about it before October 7th. And I go through my notes, and I'm like, I have jokes that are about how they kill people. I don't know what the jokes are, because it was back when I would just write. I would just write the jokes down on paper and then just write down what they were in my notes.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, generally people weren't privy to what was going on.
Yeah.
And also what was going on hadn't been so widely publicized and as in your face as before.
Yeah, and it was also, back then, I guess it was complicated.
Yeah, it used to be really complicated.
I don't know what happened.
Yeah.
What happened? What changed that made it not so complicated?
I don't know.
I guess people finding out about it.
I guess people doing an ounce of research were like, oh, it's actually not really complicated.
A guy read one sentence and was like, shit, everyone was telling me this is complicated. I read one sentence.
Turns out they've just been repeatedly killing them in large numbers every now and then. It's not really complicated, I guess.
I was doing a riff last night about, like, an Israeli guy meeting a resurrected Hitler and being like, I got a bone to pick with you. Your victims weren't brown enough. That's the only issue I have.
You idiot. You got the wrong guys, dumbass.
We love what you did, but not who you did it to.
Well, yeah, Israelis always say, the Hitler's biggest problem was not being around enough brown people to kill him.
Yeah.
So he had no choice.
Anyway, that's been the episode.
Find the funny.
Stay funny. I'm the dirtiest man in the street. The trash is scared of me. The bums, they tell me to take a shower.